supposed to be an order of action figures of my favorite book series of all time. It's the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. And long story short, the characters, like the minifigures, are exactly how the author imagined them. So it's really cool if you think about it, right? So I don't think that a lot of book series have like specifically action figures that the author would work on closely. Like usually the action figures are based on a movie, not a book, right? And back then, this was a long time ago, I didn't really, I wasn't really saving up a lot of money for anything. So I spent like $250 on them or something, or like $300. It was quite a lot. This is important for later though. So I was expecting this delivery on this day. By the way, they were originally supposed to be made in July 2023. It got delayed. Then they were supposed to deliver them before Christmas. There were so many issues with the package. And finally it was supposed to come on this day. Hold that thought. Okay. So I went on with my day. I actually had to do some filming for my channel in the afternoon. And it was the video that you've seen on Sunday, maybe. It was figures that I was talking about. This is something else. Okay, I usually don't buy thrifted clothing online. Okay, let me preface this. Because you just never know. And people can easily lie. Now, I have no issues with selling it. And when I'm selling something, let me tell you, I'm not lying. Like, if something is not in the best condition, I will tell you, or I'll just throw it away, because it's just not... my own dignity would not allow me to, send it to someone if they would pay for it, right? So, that being said, I have shopped online for collective items that would be secondhand, or for example certain purses, because I needed a purse for an event, for example, that was a certain color, because the dress code was a certain color. So then I bought a bag before, because I didn't want to spend a lot of money on something that I wouldn't even wear in daily life. So I have some experience with it. This particular thing though, a few days prior I saw this listing, and it was a Ralph Lauren shirt that normally retails for $150, okay, if you transfer the currency. And the listing was for $10 only, and it was supposed to be new. Now, I already thought that's a bit suspicious, okay? But I thought, it's $10. I'll try to buy it, okay? Like I said, the description was saying that it is new. Specifically, it said that it's 9 out of 10, okay? So, just constantly, where the color just fades and it turns to grey. Let me repeat, this shirt was supposed to be new. Meanwhile, there are just sweat stains. I can't. Actually, I have the shirt right here. I washed it. I'm going to return it. I don't know if you can really see it on camera. I don't think you can because of the lighting. But in real life, oh yes, oh yeah. Maybe you can't. It's yeah. Okay, like like I don't know. Maybe you can see it, but it's just it's like dark gray in the armpits. Let me show you the shirt because I'm going to be sending it back. But this was supposed to be the shirt. I thought, oh, this would be nice for like mini golf. I like playing mini golf, or like bowling, whatever. I thought it would be like cute. No. So I took the shirt out of the washing machine and I was like, we're not doing this. So basically now I will file a report and I will send it back. I'm gonna get my money back because yes, it was $10, but it's just the principle of the whole thing that's bothering me. You see, like, if it would be stated like this shirt is practically damaged, unwearable, and it would be for $10, fine. But the fact that the seller lied and claimed that it's new, it's just like, no. And I will make sure to send it back. Like, I will not tolerate this, okay? I will not. Okay. Still, I'm not even like that irritated at this point. Now, on my other channel, on this particular day, I've promised I'm going to put up listings for some of my other action figures that I was supposed to sell. And I had to make roughly 20 listings. At this point, it's like 6 p.m. by the way. And so I was like on it because I was supposed to put it up around like 8 p.m. or something. So I was making like one listing after another, and I got a call from a family member. So a few days prior, I've agreed to come to a family event in the future. Let's call that event A. There were certain people that were supposed to go, certain family members. We said like the time, duration, whatever. Okay, and I've said yes to this actually. So I got a call, and basically everything about the event changed. The people that were originally invited were disinvited. The time changed, the duration changed, like the starting time changed, the duration changed, everything changed, and now I no longer wanted to go. Okay, simple. Let's call this event B. Okay, it just like it was an inconvenience and I just didn't want to go anymore. So as this family member is telling me that it changed, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going anymore. And they're like, but you've said yes already. And I'm like, I've said yes to event A. This is event B. This is a different thing. And then they were like, but we've already booked it for you. Okay, so they've booked it without asking me. And now they had a problem with me that I didn't want to go. And okay, basically we went back and forth for 30 family to change the plans and not tell me anything. But the whole thing went down like, oh, but you're gonna go and you're gonna like it. Excuse me, now we had a problem. So, my family, listen, sometimes there are certain family members, my patrons, my members, they know. Because, and I was like, what? Like, excuse me, excuse you, like what? Now I was just like, okay, well now I'm definitely not going. We went back and forth for like 30 minutes. At this point, I'm exhausted. Then it turned into like, oh, here's what you should do with your life. Which I get these calls once a week at least. And my patrons, my members, they know. They know. Because there's always something with these specific family members. So at this point I'm done. I have a terrible headache. It like actually ended. The whole call was just like I said like I'm not going, and they were like, oh, but I'm sure you'll change your mind, and I'm like, no. And it ended. Okay. Now I had a terrible headache. Like at this point we had the tripod, we had the shirt, we had this like argument, which by the way I don't yell at people ever, but it's still like exhausting for me to like, you know, argue for that long like with somebody. So I'm trying to make all of these listings for the action figures that I was supposed to sell. So 8 p.m. comes, I have everything prepared, I put it online, the system doesn't work, so it takes like 30 minutes for it to actually work. Okay, cool. And I've put up like roughly 20 listings at once. Bad idea. Bad idea. Because all of a sudden I would get all of these like orders, and basically sometimes if somebody wanted like 2 items at once, I would have to confirm it. Then like they would have to confirm it again. Then I would have to confirm it again. If somebody else at the same time chooses one of the other items, like it's not reserved until it gets paid. So I had to like check like everybody's like messages, like what was going on. It was an apocalypse. Okay, I did not expect for this to happen. I thought I'm going to get like 3 maybe orders, you know, and that would be it. No, like I was getting one message after another, like my phone was constantly buzzing. Meanwhile, I'll still have the awful headache because of the phone call. I'm trying to sort this out. Now people are trying to bargain. Now the most I think I asked for one figure was like $10. Now people are trying to bargain for like $9. And once that happens, it like the system kinda like stops, like it doesn't get reserved. Like I have to confirm it if I want to give this person a discount. Meanwhile, some people were trying to like get like 50% off. There was like, they asked for 2 figures, it was $20. They asked for 8. Like it was actually more than 50%. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I've ignored it. In like 30 minutes they sent another message like, why don't you accept it? I was like, oh, I can't. I was blocking people. Sometimes I actually gave them the discount, like, okay, cool, like take it for $9, whatever. Then I actually, okay, so there was one order that I've marked as complete. Okay, cool. And I see, and something is wrong, because normally once that happens I would get the like shipping information already into my email, and this time it didn't happen. So I go into my email, I'm like, what's going on here? what is this? And there was a certain group of people that always would bargain for like, sometimes not even $1, it was like 50 cents. And oh my god. And I did not have experience with this because I have sent out some, like, I've sold some clothes like this before, but like people didn't do that and it was really easy. But when they start to bargain, like the whole system, it just gets so messy. At this point it was like 10:30, 11 p.m. I am exhausted. I have so many orders that I have to package. So many things. There were like 2 boxes that were international shipping, but I had like 4 that I had to take to this place. Then I had like other boxes that I had to take to like other place. I'm like, oh my god, I'm never doing this ever again. Like, if I'm going to put up a listing for something, it's going to be like 1 or 2 things at once. Never 20 things at once. We're not doing that. But anyways, I've managed it. I've sent it out the next day. I hopefully, like, it's fine. I had to make sure that it will be fine. Plus, when there was something that I knew was like slightly damaged, I sold it for like $2. Okay, I'm not out here scamming people like the lady with this bloody shirt. Alright, so now it's night, and I remember, wait a minute, I was supposed to get the delivery of the other action figures on this day, and it didn't arrive. So I go into the shipping, and it's red, like the whole thing it turned red, and I'm like, what? And I see the message. It said, the recipient was not at home, there will be another attempt. And I look at the timestamp, and it was late in the afternoon, so I know for a fact that I was home. And I'm like, you got to be hitting me. And I know for a fact that they did not come here. There was no note, there were no like other instructions in the email, like when something happens with the package. So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So immediately I'm looking to like file a report because I'm like, what? I can't deal with this. And then I check. There was a box that I had to put my postal code in, and then I had like all of a sudden more information. It came out of nowhere. I did not notice this, and I saw that it was actually like on this shipping agent, they actually gave it to somebody else, like a different shipping agent, okay, like a different shipping company. So I'm thinking like, what happened here? So I go into this link and I see that they could not deliver it because of technical difficulties. So now I'm like, okay, so what's going on? Was it because there was an error? What, like, what? I can't. And keep in mind, this was like $250 package, and it almost looked like that as they, like the first shipping company gave it to the second company, that they didn't transfer the data, so that it looked like they're going to send it back, and I would never have these figures ever again. And it's really difficult to get a refund because it was a Kickstarter, it wasn't like a regular order. So I found like a number for the call center. It's midnight at this a spoiler. Okay, maybe ignore that if you want to read it, but maybe you would know what it means and you would forget what you've just seen if you want to read it. Okay, so she's my favorite character of all time. I didn't even realize this. We look alike now because this character has also blue eyes and red hair, and especially last year my hair was even more red because I've dyed it even like this, like really like ginger color, but it still kind of is that color. So we kind of look alike. I didn't even realize this. It makes me happy. But okay, that's one of my favorite characters. Kaladin. Did I tell you the name of this character? It's Shalon. Okay, this is Kaladin. Again, one of my favorite characters. I still have like a crush on him. If you can like have a crush on a fictional character. Oh well. I have like 4 of these bigger figures, and I have 4 of these like boxes of these miniatures that you're supposed to paint. Okay. I remember when I was ordering it, I was like, oh, maybe it will be like my new favorite hobby, whatever. But I have like 4 of these boxes filled with characters from the book series. I also have this box. Actually, I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to get it. There's like a big monster from the book. I'm going to show it to you. Here it is. It's huge. I have so many of these boxes and I have no space for them. So there's the monster. Look how huge the monster is. And then it's the Jasmine Fiend from the book. Now I see why it was so terrifying to like fight it. Look how small the people are compared to it, right? I have so many of these. Like actually I was even considering sending them back and getting a refund, but like I love them so much. I don't think I can do that. And yes, I could probably use the extra money, but I can't. I think they're my little babies now, so I can't do that. Like the more I look at them, I can't. By the way, there's this one. You cannot see it probably. There's this character that's like a creature. I don't want to spoil it. Companion to my favorite character, Shalon. His name, I think it's a he, is Pattern. It just makes me so happy to like see him. I don't know. This is the part when you realize I'm an actual like nerd. I have like action figures I'm going to paint and like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it makes me so happy to like see the characters from my favorite book like come to life. And yeah, it's so nice. Pattern, I wish you could see it. Like I'm going to insert a close-up, but I wish I could have like a Pattern in my life, like a companion that would be like funny and annoy me like a little bit from time to time. That would also be helpful. I don't know. Anyways, so that was it for today's video. That was the shenanigans. Yeah, I'm going to send the smelly shirt that's actually not smelly anymore back because we're not doing this. I don't know, the story actually has a good ending, I guess. I got my figures, they did not send them back. I packaged all of the old action figures and sent them away, and sold them. I will not be going to the event anyway because something else came up, and so I know that like it's not happening. And yeah, I mean, I guess it has a good ending, so okay, that's it for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.